Hey Frog Kiddos, Mrs. O here with your next story. If you watched Mrs. Young's earlier this week, she read us The Good Egg, which was by the same author, the same team as The Bad Seed, which is something that all of our frog groups read way back at the beginning of the year. And she reminded us that it taught us a lot about growth mindset, how we can grow and change and learn some really important lessons. And so that happened in The Good Egg as well. And it just so happens that that team of authors and illustrators wrote another story. And this one is called The Cool Bean. Now, what I want you to think about as I read this story is whenever we hear that word cool, right, we have some thoughts about what it means to be cool or what we think is cool. And so this little cool bean is going to teach us something a little bit about that. There are different ways to be cool and different things that we can consider as being cool. Sorry, I have to adjust this a little bit so you can see me better. So just be thinking about that. I think he's going to teach us a little something important about what that means. Okay, so here he is. And here's all the cool beans in our story. So I'm already noticing that the word cool, they must associate, all these guys have sunglasses on, so that might mean something about what it means to be cool. Here's our title page. Okay, noticing some attitude here. Watch out, here come the cool beans. The cool beans. Oh yeah, check out how they move. Look at the way they swagger. Notice their sunglasses. Yow! The cool beans are known all over school, from house to house, across town, beyond county lines. So I'm hearing things about the way they walk and how they dress. In the olden days, last year, we were all one big pot of beans. We were a mixed bag, but somehow it worked. Yep, those were the good old days. And then we stopped seeing each other as much. That's just how it is sometimes. You spend less time together, even though you're not totally sure why. I'm sure a lot of us can relate to that too. We go through that with friends and family even. I watched as the beans I knew so well, the beans from my own pod, became the cool beans. Oh, they were so cool. One of them could play the guitar. Cool. One of them could draw the best superheroes. Cool. One of them could jump higher than any bean I'd ever known. Cool. So far, I think they're putting a lot of emphasis on their talents. Me? Well, I mostly stayed the same. Sure, I made some small changes. I wore sunglasses. Too big. I slicked my hair back. Too slick. I strutted around. I swaggered. Oof! Ow! So I see that he's trying to emulate them or do what they're doing, and it doesn't seem to be going so well. I was still picked last for everything. My clothes never seemed to fit. I snorted when I laughed. I walked into stuff. I was an uncool bean, for sure. I started thinking of myself as just a common bean with no special skills. I couldn't compete, so I didn't even try. I'd never be a cool bean. Now that, hearing him say, I didn't even try, is what really makes me sad here. It seemed like there were two types of beans in the world. There were the cool beans and the beans like me. So really think about how that bean is feeling right now. What he thinks it means to be cool. The days all blended together. I lived my life and things were just okay. I took tests and ate lunches and mostly kept to myself. The cool beans continued being cool. I mean, sure, I missed them a bit, but it's not like I was going to say anything. I felt like all that coolness had gotten in the way of our friendship, and that's how it went until one day. So here I'm almost wondering if these beans feel the same way or if he's just assuming that. I was in the cafeteria. I dropped my lunch on my loafers. Oh no, not again. But then something sort of miraculous happened. Out of nowhere, one of the cool beans helped me clean it up. He didn't even say anything. He just gave me a nod. That was it. Later, I was out on the playground. I tripped and scraped my knee and maybe cried a little bit, and everybody saw it. Another one of the cool beans came to my side, and without a word, he dusted me off. So something I noticed here, he pulls up those sunglasses, and they look a lot alike now. Not so different after all. That afternoon, I was sitting in class. I wasn't really paying attention. I didn't notice, but our teacher had called on me. Everybody stared. I sat there in silence. Nobody said anything. I'm sure we've all had that feeling before. And then, everybody just laughed at me. That was it. After today, I was officially a has-been. I'm sure we all can imagine how he's feeling right now. How we would feel if that was us. But then one of the cool beans stood up and came over to me. Everybody watched. She leaned in close and whispered, "Hey, the teacher asked you to read from page 32. Then she gave me a quick wink and went back to her seat. It was a small gesture, sure, but it was also everything. Just goes to show, guys, a little bit of kindness goes a long way. I walked home with a goofy smile on my face. I smiled all the way through dinner. He's looking much different now. That day made all the difference. It was a day that could have been really bad, if not for the kindness of a few cool beans. It gave me a shred of confidence. That shred of confidence has continued to grow. It just goes to show one small act can really change someone. Somebody had my back. Or a few somebodies. After that, I started hanging out with the cool beans again. How have you been? Get it? How have you been? Not all the time, but sometimes. At lunch, after school, even on the weekends. Throughout all of this, I realized that it's not about how you look or any of that other silly stuff. It's about a wink or a nod or a smile at just the right moment. It's about dusting somebody off, helping them up again, and pointing them in the right direction. You need a hand? Yes, please. Now that's cool. And there we can see him mixed in the end. So I hope you kind of learned that, that word cool kind of comes in all shapes and sizes. Sometimes it is just a small gesture like a wink or a high five or a good job. Something that is going to make somebody else feel special or included or cared about. So hopefully we're still able to do that. I know we can't be together, but even when you're taking walks outside, it's still polite to wave to someone or say hello or just smile at them so they know, even though, we're all kind of locked away in our houses, we're not really alone. We're all still together and we all still care about each other. See you guys soon.